I learned a lot about the gut to brain connection
Yeah.
and vitamin D, how that plays a role in your mental health. I mean, you
Mhm.
always hear that, but it was like more in depth of like, oh, that's why. Like,
Makes
oh,
sense.
that converts, that does this. Oh, this is why.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it was, yeah, you understood the why.
Welcome back to another episode of the Charyse Williams Show. I am so excited today. I get to introduce you guys to none other than Tawana Raymond, also known as Sweet TNP. Hey there, Tawana.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good. You guys, oh my God. Let me just tell you just a little bit about Tawana. So, again, she's known as the Sweet TNP. She is a dual certified nurse practitioner with 16 years of experience, specializing in mental health with a functional medicine, a more holistic path to wellness. So, again, welcome, Tawana.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yay!
Excited.
Yes. And so share with everyone who it is. And so we know mental health, but who it is specifically that you serve in this capacity.
Okay, so I support African American healthcare professionals overcome mental health challenges. And my goal is to have the African American community as in general overcome the stigma of mental health is such a, bad or taboo
Taboo.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. And it's so needed. It's so greatly needed because you're right. In our community, it's kind of taboo. It's shifting, it's
It's
shifting a bit,
shifting.
but historically it has definitely been just a taboo. You don't have mental illness, you're fine, that type of thing.
Right.
You don't talk about it. So, and did not serve us well then, nor is it serving
It's
us
not serving us
well
well
now.
now.
Not
Right.
at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
And so you've been an NP for 16 years. I want you to take us back a little bit. How long were you an RN?
Okay, no, so I've been an RN. I've been an MP for 5 years.
Okay.
So I was an RN in 2011 is when I got my RN license. Well, first I was an LPN before that, but
Okay.
2011 I got my RN license, and then I went back to school to do my bachelor's and eventually my master's. I'm a dual certified, so I did my master's in FNP, family nurse practitioning, and then I went back to do a postmaster's program for psych mental health NP. And so when I came out of school for the FNP, it was around the time of COVID and everything was, changing, shutting down, like healthcare was viewed differently. Like everybody, it was a mess.
It was a mess.
But yeah, it was a mess, but it was very eye-opening and helped me to determine that I wanted to do something more than
Yeah.
just FNP. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they did psych. That's awesome. And then,
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit about your practice, because I would love for you to share kind of where your business was and where your practice was before you enrolled in the process practitioner program, which we'll talk about here shortly. But so where were you in business? What were you doing? How was your business set up?
Okay, so prior to the program, I am Eternity Wellness 22 business owner. I focus on mental health, and it was insurance based
Okay.
only. I mean, well, I had some cash pay clients, but the focus was, accepting insurance based clients. I did a little bit of therapy with a little bit of medication management, and it was very like you go to your mental health provider, but I wanted to offer something more than just, medication management to help the people overcome their mental health challenges. So heard about functional medicine, was interested in functional medicine. And even as a FNP, when I was practicing as a FNP, I'm like, that sounds like something I want to learn more about. But when I opened the practice for mental health, it was like you'd learn all these things that could be causing symptoms of mental health, and then you're just giving them medicine. Like somebody's coming to you saying that they can't sleep, and you're saying, okay, well, let me give you this medicine to help you sleep, but it's not really looking at what's not causing you to be able to sleep.
Right.
Although it
The
could
root
be,
cause. Yeah.
it could be something related to your mental health, like you went through something traumatic, or
Sure.
you're anxious about a new job or something like that. But also there are physical things that could be going on in your body to cause you not to be able to sleep like you should be. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that was like my key thing. Like, oh, I want to know more. you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm curious why mental health in the first place? I know you said, things got really tough around COVID, but what was it about you specifically provide support to the African Americans in healthcare? So I'm
Mhm.
curious why mental health for African Americans in healthcare? Why
Yeah.
was
So
that? Hmm.
okay. So as a FMP, of course, I worked in primary care. So I seen a lot of different people for a lot of different things that they had going on. And this kind of dabbles into what made me interested in functional medicine as well, because it was like, this can't be right. Like,
Right.
this cannot be right. I'm telling you to do this. I'm telling you to do that. And sometimes I would tell people to do things or, change things and then send them to like a dietitian or something. And they would tell them like something totally different. And it's like, hold on, wait, something is not,
Something's
is
broken.
not
Something's not
clicking.
right.
Yeah, something's
Yeah.
not right. And then I started learning about all these, the functional medicine labs and how you can determine if there's something else going on with the patient and you might be treating the wrong thing, just a band-aid on something
Hmm.
without really diving deep. So that kind of did it for me. And then what made me interested in the mental health thing is every time I see my patients, they want to sit and talk, 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 talk. They're like, oh, you're so easy to talk to. And oh, nobody really listens. And oh, so I'm like, well, maybe I need to dabble into mental health. And then not only that, remember I told you it was around the time of COVID. So
Hmm.
everyone's stressed out, but I was still working with patients who had COVID, with nurses who were working with patients who had COVID, with nurses who had family members who were sick,
Yeah.
nurses who were sick themselves. Like that took a toll on us mentally as healthcare workers.
For
So,
sure.
and I felt like that there wasn't support enough for us
Yeah.
with handling that load. Like that was a lot.
I would certainly agree. There was not support then, and there's really not support now. It's like, oh yeah, we're
Right.
out of that COVID phase, but it's like, but wait, people are still traumatized. Like, who's helping
Traumatized.
people unpack all this stuff?
Right.
That's why I'm saying, I'm so glad that you have chosen to support people in this arena because they need it.
Right.
They need it. It's like, yeah,
Absolutely.
we've passed that place in time, but no one dealt with it. No one dealt with it.
Yeah.
So
And then
yeah.
not only, of course, the COVID time was difficult for everyone, but
Mhm.
just as an African American healthcare worker in general, like I feel like our journey is different
We
and we
do.
deal with things that not everyone has to deal with. So add something like COVID on top of
Yeah.
what we already go through and been through and have to deal
Right.
with. So yeah, so that definitely
Yeah. Oh
empowered
my
me.
gosh. So needed, like I said. And so you were insurance based,
Mhm.
and right. And so what was it that made you decide to you said functional medicine was always of interest to you, but what made you decide to enroll in the process practitioner program? What was it about the process practitioner program that you were like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is it.
Okay, so insurance based. So I'm, of course, starting my practice. The insurance based things come in very slowly in the beginning when you're starting
Hmm.
a practice with insurance,
For sure.
and then also I'm also getting a lot of patients because there aren't that many healthcare providers whose insurance is available. So it's like I'm piling on the work, 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 and then it's like medicine, 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 and then I'm
Mhm.
like, wait a minute, this is not how I envision my business.
Or your
So
life,
I'm like,
probably.
yeah, my life, like this is
Yeah.
not what I want to do. So yeah, that empowered me to be like, and I was just scrolling on, I think it was LinkedIn, and I
Mhm.
seen the blood
The
work.
secret language,
Yeah, the
secret language
secret
of
language of blood
blood
work.
work.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like, let me see what this is about. Free little class on
Masterclass. Yeah.
secret language of blood work, functional medicine. So yeah, I signed up for that class, and when I did that class, it was like, oh my God, like there were so many key points, key takeaways, like things that simple that you didn't learn in school.
I know.
So
Did it make you rethink your whole education? You're like, wait a minute. How is it
yeah,
that
like
I'm 16 years
like
into
why
this
didn't they
profession?
yeah, why didn't
I
they
don't
ever
know.
teach this? Like why nobody
Exactly.
ever just discuss this or even,
Yeah.
but honestly, I feel like even in school as a nurse practitioner, they don't really go over blood work in depth
Mm-mm.
anyway. It's something like you learn on the job for sure.
Right.
But
And not even like this. I mean, you're
no,
definitely looking at it
no,
from a
no,
different
no.
lens for sure.
Yeah, you definitely looking at it from a different lens. It's a very general approach from school. Like, of course they give you a generalized overview of what things are, what they cause or whatever, but it definitely was more in depth, even like I said, from that little class
Yeah.
that I
From
did,
the
the
2-hour
free,
master class,
yeah,
huh?
the 2-hour master class,
Yeah.
that was very eye-opening, and it just made me want to know more. Like, hold on, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what
Yeah.
I want to do. So that empowered me to be like, okay, I need to do something different.
Yeah, for sure. And so, for those of you who are listening who haven't attended the Secret Language of Blood Work Masterclass, right, the Secret Language of Blood Work that most doctors miss Masterclass, I'll be sure to have the team link it below, so that way you can attend the next upcoming one. But yeah, that Masterclass is game changing, game
Right.
changing. And so you saw it on LinkedIn, you attended the Masterclass, and apparently you were ready because you enrolled in
Ready.
the program right out. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, talk to me about your level of readiness. Why were you ready? Like, what was going on? Either what was going on to make you be like, okay, this is it, or what was it about the program that made you say, okay, this is it, like this is exactly what I've been looking for?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
of course I did the class, and then I was thinking like, oh, do I have time for this?
Mm-hmm.
Can I afford this right now? Is this something that I necessarily need right now? And when I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, I literally was just, when something is in alignment with what you're supposed to do, like it just happens. And so for me to just stumble upon your class, I took the class, I had the call with you afterwards, and
That's right.
it all just seemed to work out. Like at first I was questioning, like, should I do this now? Like everything just started to fall in place. And I'm like, wait a
That's how
minute.
you know.
I'm very spiritual. So I'm like, wait a minute, this right in front of my face. Like, why
Right.
not? Why not? And this is what feels more in line with what my future vision is for my business. So
Yeah.
why not? Like, it seemed like it just was right in alignment, and the price was right, the timing was right, like
Yeah.
everything just lined up. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had this discussion before. It's like when things just line up seemingly like effortlessly, like things just fall into place. That's how you know, right?
Right.
Not just say
Right.
if there's some obstacles that's not for you, because sometimes it's like, okay, how bad do you want this? Are you willing
Mhm.
to push through the obstacles? But the fact that everything was like so divinely, timed,
Right.
it was like so undeniable. I was going to ask you. So I know there are some people that are listening. They're like, you know what? Tawana talks about, having not, is it the right time and all this. Do you mind sharing with them all that you have going on, kids, job, business? Because
Yeah.
there's
So,
no one like, I don't have time.
right.
But the reality of it is we make time for what we want, we make time for what we want to make time for. So yeah,
What
go
we
ahead and
really
share
want.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So of course, I said I started my practice. So I started my practice. I see my patients in my private practice. I'm also still working full time. I have two younger kids at home, 8 and 9, and I'm a single mom. So I'm trying to do it all.
Not
But
just trying, you're doing it.
right. I'm doing
and,
it.
and we're working to transition you out of
Yeah.
the full time, so that way you can definitely be full time
Focused on
in
my
your
business.
business. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say, like you said, when you're doing stuff that is in alignment with what you want to do, it feels right, it feels good, it doesn't feel like work. Like, I feel like I'm so empowered when I'm doing things related to my incorporating the functional medicine side of my business, when I'm learning about it, researching about it, creating programs around it. Like, all of that feels
It
like it's
lights you
not
up.
work. Yeah, it's
It
like
doesn't
it's
feel
not
like work.
work.
That's
You're right.
right. And that's
So,
how you know. That's how you
mhm.
know that you are where you're supposed to do, and that you really are living really in alignment. You said that a second ago, in alignment with
Yeah.
with your heart's desires. So many
Yeah.
times we get just stuck doing what we think we should do, or what we've been doing all along, because that's the path
Mhm.
that we chose to take. But here's the thing: you can jump off of that railroad at any time. Like, you could shift
Right.
paths at any time that you choose to, and you chose to do that, even with all the things that you have going on. Little kids, you got older kids, you get
Mhm.
and then work and business and
Right.
all the things, but yet you're making it happen. And so for that, I just want to applaud you for that, because you could
Oh,
have
thank
used that. You're welcome. You could have, and people do oftentimes use use those things as a reason not to, a reason why they can't do X, Y, and Z, a reason why they can't
right.
do what they really want to do. When in reality, I always say use that as the reason to do it, not as an excuse not to, but the reason to do it. Right. And
Yeah,
so,
true.
and it's so true, Tawana, when you're doing the things that like your heart is pulling you towards, it doesn't
Mhm.
feel like work. You're
It
just
doesn't.
having fun doing your thing,
Right.
which is
Like, this
amazing.
this can and then wait till you start getting paid for doing the things that
Okay.
you
Yes,
yeah, you be
exactly.
like, "Dang, this is the life." But
Right.
that is so true with things that's not even for me, like, not even related to just business, but that's how I know that it was right, because things just happen for you like that in life. Just imagine, like, if you're trying to get a job or you're trying to
Mhm.
buy a house or something, it just seems like everything falls into place. So this
Right.
was the same for me. So I was like, "Yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
This
for
is it."
sure. Yeah, and you
Mhm.
talked about money. So since you brought in money into it, so you and well, tell us about your first client that you enrolled while you're still in the program, because this is one thing
Okay.
we are, Dr. Orlandis and I are really like serious about. We're like, okay, we're helping you get a client while you're in the
Mhm.
program, so that we can help support you as you're supporting your new client in this new manner. So tell us about your first client.
Yeah, so my first client was actually another psych MP. Um, she was struggling with some issues that she was having while she was pregnant, and all her doctors kept saying was, "Well, your blood work is normal. We'll send you to a specialist after you have your baby, for a little bit further evaluation." But she was interested in getting her blood work read now, like root cause blood work analysis. She's like, I'm gonna be your first client. So yeah, she was definitely my first client, but I do have another meeting with someone later on today,
Oh,
possibly a second. So yeah,
okay, all right.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I have, when you take this class and you start to let people know what you do, you have people that you work with, family members, like everyone coming to you with questions or trying to figure out what their problem is. Like, everyone wants to know the root cause. Let me just put it
Yeah.
like that. Everyone wants to know the root cause.
It's true. It's true.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like when you first become a nurse, right? People know you're a nurse. They start sending you pictures of like, what's this? It's a picture of the
Mhm.
big toe or something. You're like,
Right.
I don't know what that is, ma'am.
Right.
But the same is true now, when you're doing something different, right?
Mhm.
Which is, finding the root cause. People do want to know, particularly and it's an unfortunate thing that, we've all heard this story over and over again. People go to their doctors or their provider, and the labs are air quotes normal, but
Right.
yet they're
Right.
still symptomatic and there's no answers. And then, so they send them to a specialist. And then guess what? The labs are still quote unquote normal, but they're still
Normal.
symptomatic. So now they start thinking, am I crazy? Like,
Right.
what's going on? And so when you share with them, functional medicine or root cause blood work analysis, they're like, yeah, I'm in. Like, yes, if you can give me
Right.
answers that no one else has been able to give me, absolutely. So that's one of the core pieces of the program, and we
Mhm.
teach you how to do that, and then help you build out additional programs. So
Yeah.
you want to share with us, so your first client, this was somebody that you knew,
Mhm.
and by the way, your first clients are always typically someone that you already know. I
Yeah.
always say this, and it's so true, because when you don't have when you're not crystal clear on who your ideal client is and how you want to help them, right? What happens is there are people already in your ecosystem. There are people already connected to you that you don't see them as a potential client or patient because you're not clear on what you're looking for, right? They don't see you as a solution to their problem because they don't even know what you do because you're not clear. And
Right.
so with clarity comes confidence, right?
Mhm.
But also
Right.
with clarity comes with clarity comes the confidence to be able to share what you do confidently, and in that confidence people are like, oh yeah, well, let me work with you, like she knows what she's talking about.
Right.
So yeah, and then it opens up everything because now you're clear, they're clear, and things just start rolling. So share with us, do you mind sharing what you charge for your root cause blood work analysis?
Yeah, so for my root cause blood work analysis, it's $555.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to actually analyze your blood work, and people are
Mhm.
more than welcome to bring any blood work that they already have had done with their provider
Yeah.
to their appointment. So
So cool. Yep. So that is your entry level, if you will, entry level
right,
offer, and then we've
mhm,
built out your mid tier offer,
right,
and then a higher ticket or higher tier premium offer.
mhm.
And so, you want to share like the link that you don't have to share with us like what all's included, but
Okay.
if you want to just kind of give us a high level overview, like how long is the program, what is the investment for that program, just so they have an idea.
Okay. So for the mid level, is the Elite Copper program. That's 7K. And
Mhm.
that program is a 3-month program. Of course, it comes along with the root cause blood work analysis. I also offer therapy sessions in my program because, of
Mhm.
course, I'm a mental health
Right.
nurse practitioner. So, in addition to getting to the root cause of what you have going on, we definitely personalize a plan tailored for you to overcome whatever your issue is, and then add on the mental health portion of therapy and other
Yeah.
suggestions. But then for the gold package, the top package is 14K, and
Mhm.
it's pretty much the same of what comes with the mid package, but more. And it's a six
Mhm.
month program. So
Yeah.
that program is if some people have a lot of things going on that can't
Yeah.
be handled within the 3 months. So
Right.
I had to create a package that would have enough time to allow me to follow up and be able to help them through what they have, their symptoms, and what
Absolutely.
they have going on. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to ask you, let's see, you're not even finished with the program yet. You're still currently in the program. But let me say, let's rewind 6 months ago. 6 months ago, would you have in a million years thought that you would have a $7,000 program or a
Right.
$14,000 program? Would you have even thought that that was even possible?
No, and it really wasn't. Like, I don't know, I didn't think about it like that. Like, I didn't
Mhm.
think about the income side of it but once I got into the program, the information that we learn and the just the healing power that you can bring to your clients, like it's invaluable. Like, to
Yeah,
me, to be able to I just experience clients come to me all the time, like, I've been to this provider, I've been to that provider, I've been to that, like, in tears, literally, like,
mm,
I don't know what's wrong with me, like,
yeah,
there is something wrong with me. I don't like, they're telling me nothing's wrong, but there is something wrong with me,
right,
something is off. And of course, with root cause blood work analysis, you're trying to get to the root of the problem, whether it's toxins, whether it's inflammation or your nutritional deficiency,
hmm,
parasites, all these things can cause you to have these symptoms. So
absolutely.
your average blood work that you get done, you can actually learn a lot from it if you are a functional medicine provider and you've
Yep.
taken this program. You're able to analyze a lot just from the simple CBC, lipid profile, just things that you normally get on a annual basis at your provider's office. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really that was really game changing, though, to have a program now, my mid program 7K, gold program 14K, and then so I always tell people the root cause blood work analysis itself 555. I just couldn't put a price on that
Right.
if it were me, like, just to
Yeah.
find out what is really
What is
causing.
going on?
Yeah, like, what's
What's
going
really going on?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing that I love about, and I remember this from our very first call that we had before you even enrolled in the program, is you mentioned somatic work. So you
Mhm.
mentioned that there were certain things that you wanted to incorporate
Right.
in how you worked with your clients moving forward. So yeah. So other than root cause blood work analysis, right? Of course, the protocols, all of that is inside of the program. Are doing therapy sessions with them,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
you're integrating some somatic work as well.
Yeah, somatic work such as yoga, stretching, therapy, breath work, meditation,
Yeah,
journaling, like, all of these things tie into your mental health, your well-being. But
absolutely.
most of all, I came to understand that if you are not ready to change your lifestyle, then nothing will work for you. So although I'm offering and telling you about these different things that you can do, you have to be able to be willing to change your diet, be able
Yeah.
to be present and involved in your healthcare. Like you as a person have to be ready to change,
Right.
because it's a lifestyle change. It's not just, one time, one pill,
No.
one deal, and it's gone. Like it's
Right.
work. It's work.
It
And
is.
we've been so programmed to do things the way that we've done for so long, that
Yeah.
when you learn something new, it's actually it's a process to
It
try
is
to
a
break those old habits. So
yeah.
it definitely involves you being committed to your own health and your own mental health, well, to get better. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
process. It's not a one and done or quick fix.
And
At the end of the day, and we all know this, but like if nothing changes, then nothing changes. You got
nothing
to make some
changes.
changes. You got to be ready to
Mhm.
make those changes, right? And so yeah. So tell us, what's been your favorite part? If you had to just name one favorite part of the program, what would you say has been your favorite part of the program thus far?
I would say the meetings that we have weekly, the
Mm-hmm.
Thursday meetings, and then, well, I love the Thursday meetings. That's like my favorite part. But I
Because
love the
we do have a
one-on-one.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I love the one-on-one sessions with you and
Yeah.
Dr. O as well, because that gives me time to focus in more on what I'm working on personally with
Mm-hmm.
my business, and you guys kind of help direct or give input on how I can improve or make it better.
Right.
But also the weekly meetings make me feel like I'm accountable to show up in, like, the program is all about accountability as well, because of course you're in the program, but you still have to do the work of learning the material,
Right.
asking the questions, putting together your program, creating the things that you need to put in place for your business. You have to be more present on social media. You have to, develop a marketing plan. So these are things
Yeah.
that
And
you
not
have
by
to focus
yourself. You
on.
don't have to do it all by
Well,
yourself. You got us.
no,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
Yes.
you have to think about it. Like, this is your
Absolutely. This is your
business.
business.
This is your, it's
Exactly.
not like I came to the program and you were like, oh, you're a mental health nurse practitioner. So won't you offer this? Like, you were like, what
Yeah.
are your goals? What are your visions? What do you see? Or where do you see your business in this amount of
Right.
time, or that, so it's, you
Right.
really like held me accountable. You push me to do things further and think further
Mm,
of my goals for my business. So yeah,
yeah.
I feel like that's my favorite part.
Favorite part. Yeah, we have fun on Thursday. We do have fun on Thursday. So Thursdays is our weekly Q&A and case studies. And those case studies are pretty powerful because we get to go, like, it really helps to solidify your learnings
Hmm.
from what you have been learning all along in the program. And it's like you get to apply it in real time. But then the Q&A part is, again, curated to wherever you are. Yes, it's a group program, but the individualization
Hmm.
of the program is, okay, what questions do you specifically have right now with where you are in your business? Where are your
Yeah.
challenges? What do we need to help you with? How are you doing, with your sales? How are you doing with your one-line moneymaker? How are you doing
Right.
with your, and then we help you, massage that, evolve that so that it fits, and it's you. It's all
Right.
you, not
Right.
me, not Dr. Orlando's. This is your program. And
Right.
we're just, yeah, making sure that it is fully representative of you, Tawana, Sweet TNP, and the way that she
Yeah.
wants to care for her patients and her clients. So yeah,
Yeah. And one other thing I wanted to
go
say
for
about
it.
the weekly meetings is, the reason why I love the weekly Thursday meetings is because you have your peers there as well.
Yeah,
So it's like, it's you, it's Dr. Orlandis, it's your peers. So you're getting that live feedback, like, okay, what do you guys think about this? Or how do you feel about that? And they're, you get that feedback from your peers. That's good
yeah.
support. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
community is everything, and I always say this. So much growth and ascension happens in community, and when you are in a
Yeah.
community with like-minded, providers, nurse practitioners, and we have nurse practitioners, PAs, chiropractors. But when we're in a community of like-minded
Right.
individuals that you can bounce ideas off of, that you can collaborate with. You just did a great collaboration with
Right.
one of the other students inside the program. But yeah, it's so much power in community, the networking, the level of even masterminding that goes on
Right.
because you are in close proximity with other people that they get it. they get you, because sometimes you'll have to try to have a conversation with someone who
Yeah.
maybe is not a healthcare professional, or they don't have their own business, and they kind of get you. But here, like, they get you. They're
Yeah.
nurses or healthcare providers as well as entrepreneurs. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, like you were saying, it's you're with like-minded people. So if I have an idea about something and
Hmm.
you kind of already are on the same wave, like the energy is just magical. It just goes, like
Yeah,
I could
for
tell
sure.
you it bounces. She's like, yeah, that sounds good. Oh, well, how about this? How about,
Right.
oh, that sounds good. Like,
Yeah,
we come up with good stuff in those meetings. So I
for
love it.
sure, for
I
sure.
love
Yeah, the
it.
synergy is off the chain. The energy
Right.
is off the chain. Just it's brilliance. It's pure
Yeah.
brilliance. When you have a room of brilliant people, then guess what?
Right.
More brilliance is created, and
Right.
it's just really it expands. It's really expansive. So yeah. So let's see. I know you launched your podcast.
I
You did
did.
not have a podcast prior to you enrolling in the program.
Right.
Not that you have to have a podcast, you guys. This is something that Tawana wanted to have, and so she launched her podcast. So share with them your podcast, the name of your podcast, and
So
what's about.
I launched my podcast. The first episode was last week, and I did a collaboration with someone in the group, Miss
Yay.
Latoya Buchanan.
Awesome.
She's the blood work analysis queen.
Yeah, I think
She
what's her moniker? The blood work nurse. Oh, blood work MP.
no, the blood work NP,
The
yeah.
blood work MP is her. Yeah, that's
hmm
the name she goes
But
by.
that was a very good time. But yeah, so my podcast is Chanel Love 22. The first episode was featuring Latoya, and we had a good time. So it's my my podcast. The goal of my podcast, I just want to create a platform for us to have important conversations, like to empower our community, the African American community, the African American healthcare professionals, give them the information to help decrease that stigma like we talked about
Right.
before, and then just having somewhere to be relaxed, open, and kind of express yourself in the things that we learn in healthcare, somewhere for people to go and learn information that can really help them better themselves mentally. And then it also, of course, introduced the root cause blood work analysis that I learned through the program.
Yeah, I love that, and it's such a great tool. So podcasting it's so wonderful. Number one, to establish your thought leadership. Number two, to expand your reach, expand your audience, increase your visibility, and because that's usually the one thing that entrepreneurs or I'll say new business owners. The one thing that they struggle with is obscurity. Like, no one knows them. They don't have enough visibility. So the
Right.
podcast is just one way to help increase that visibility. So super proud of you for that. Super excited for you.
Thank you.
Can't wait to be a guest. I got to pick my date, but yes.
Come on, girl.
I know. And so I would love for you to share, as we wrap up here, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but hopefully you can think of something.
Okay, come on.
One thing, because the program is a hybrid program. It's clinical functional medicine, right? But it's also business development and business strategy.
Right.
And so, what was one thing you learned on the business side so far that you did not know, or didn't have a full grasp on, and then also same thing from this clinical side?
Okay. So from the business side, I would say the learning video about having your interview with your client, your potential client, and being confident in your knowledge and what you have to offer, and just being able to express that confidently without feeling like you are not capable of doing the job, but you have all the knowledge. Of course, as nurse practitioner or as healthcare workers anyway, we do a lot and we don't give ourselves a lot of credit for it. So that was one thing on the business side, just the confidence of doing that. And also, I will say the presence, being present on social media, being present, just letting people know exactly what it is that you do so that you can get those clients.
Right.
If no one knows what you're doing,
that's what we want. Exactly.
Right. And then on the clinical side, I would say I was just, there's so much, like,
I know.
even just from the simple CBC lipid profile, just the normal labs that you get, there was so much knowledge that I learned about being able to determine if someone has inflammation, virus versus bacteria versus parasite, like nutritional deficiencies, like all of those things were able to be seen through like the CBC with this.
CBC with this.
Yeah, so that was like amazing to me. And also I learned a lot about the gut to brain connection
Yeah.
and vitamin D, how that plays a role in your mental health. I mean, you always hear that, but it was like more in depth of like, oh, that's why.
It
Like,
makes
oh,
sense.
that converts, that does this. Oh, this is why.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it was, yeah, you understood the why,
Yeah, Dr.
why
Williams is so phenomenal at
yeah,
really breaking
he
it
is.
down and making sure that you understand it, like you said, the why behind it. Yeah,
Right,
we've all heard vitamin D. Oh yeah, you're depressed. Get outside. Vitamin D, sunlight.
right.
Right. That's pretty much
Mhm,
what we've heard, what we've all learned. But
mhm.
it's deeper than that. It's more than that. And so yeah, so cool. Alrighty. So as we wrap up, this has been really, 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 really good. As we wrap up, and I thank you for just kind of sharing everything, sharing your experience. I always like to end with some rapid fire questions, some really fun questions. So you ready for them?
Yes, rapid fire. Is there a time limit or am I just
No, but it's first thing that
oh,
comes to
okay.
mind without overthinking. That's why
Okay.
it's rapid fire. Okay, you ready?
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Tupac.
Tupac. Okay. Yes, I'm with you on that.
Tupac.
I am with you
Still
on that.
is. Look.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. I've kind of Idris is mine
Oh,
celebrity
it just
crush
okay.
now, but I love me some Tupac. So just saying.
Yeah.
So all right, who is one person who if you could pick one person to trade places with for a day, who would that be?
Ooh, that's a hard one, Charyse.
You could say pass, but just give it a thought. Just give it a second.
God, can I just my future self,
Okay.
like myself in the future, like I'd just jump timeline and just already be accomplished with whatever my goals are. So
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anybody else.
Okay. No. So you would trade places with your future self.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. All right. That's kind of cool. Like it. All righty. What is one of your guilty pleasure?
Are we talking?
Whatever. It's like whatever comes to mind.
I don't know, Charyse. Dang. A guilty pleasure.
Ice cream? I don't know.
Juice? Juice.
What kind of juice?
Any juice.
Like just filled with sugar and not really juice, but
juice with ice. I need to stay away from ice.
juice with ice. I love ice, the Sonic ice specifically. So
No.
all right, cool. What's the best compliment you've ever gotten?
I feel like the best compliment I ever gotten is when I hear someone say that I helped them overcome something without me knowing. Like I didn't that wasn't my goal, or I was just being me or just putting my input. I like to do that all the time. Give my input, but it was very impactful in whatever situation or life situation they were going through. So yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All righty. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever gotten?
That I've ever gotten from someone?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Worst advice? Listen, you know why this is so hard? Because when somebody give me advice, I'm like, do I believe that?
Right.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I probably end up going with what I want to do anyway at the end.
Right.
So
That's funny.
I guess I don't know. I guess the worst advice would probably be not to follow your own advice.
That is that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, like sometimes. Well, I guess I mean in the sense of always seeking outside advice. Like sometimes you need to just go within and think about it yourself for a couple of days. Sleep on it. I always say sleep on it. Yeah, trust yourself. Yeah, right.
Trust your gut. We're so used to seeking out other people's
right.
But
opinions
it's like opinions and approval and all that. But what I'm hearing you saying, and I do agree, and it's so important. Like tap in, go within, and trust your gut.
Right.
Trust. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good takeaway. Trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut. Yeah.
All right, last one. That was actually probably really good to end on, but I still have another question. So,
okay.
If you were stranded on a deserted island, who would you want to be stranded on a deserted island with?
Who? Okay, so God, Charyse, that's a hard question. I would say my kids are my favorite person in the world, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
want them to be stranded on an island with
Good
me.
point.
So
Yes.
I'm not gonna pick them. I don't know, but definitely would be a male. Like I wouldn't want to be stranded on the island.
I mean,
My homegirl, like
I know. I love it. Okay. Okay. Well, how
I
about
don't
this?
know.
I don't want to even make you pick the male, but I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'd want to be on just if I had to be deserted, give me a man for
right.
sure. But okay, so if there's one thing that you could, if there's only one thing you could have on your deserted island, what would it be? Like for me, it's lip gloss. I gotta have lip gloss, like under
Gosh,
all.
Sharice, I'm thinking deep. I'm like, we're gonna need to make some food. What about some fire? I'm like,
Oh, lip gloss.
shelter. Look.
Well,
And
that's
I
what
look,
we
I
got
think
together,
I need the man to do the manly things. Like we need to build a shelter. He need to get some
right?
fish or whatever we about to eat on this island. So
So practical of you, Tawana.
yeah. I know.
I'm like, give me some lip gloss and I'm good.
Oh God.
Oh,
That's
that
funny.
is hilarious. Well, that was fun.
Right.
That
She
was
said,
fun.
give her a lip gloss.
Give me some lip gloss because I don't like my lips to be dry. They hurt and they crack. And then, yeah. Anyway, but I'm so if I have the guy, he can take care of the rest of the stuff. Anyway, whatever.
The rest of the stuff, huh?
I probably, I'm so bossy. I'd be like, anyway, I'd let him do what he needs to do. So anyway,
Right.
all right, Tawana, this has been fun. This has been so. Thank you for sharing your experience, your brilliance, your knowledge, all the things, your mission. Thank you for sharing your mission with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You are
Appreciate
very
the
welcome.
invite.
You're very welcome. Any closing words as we bring this to an end? Any last thing you want to leave our listeners with?
I just, of course, go follow and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chanel Love 22. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Sweet TNP. I just want everybody to practice self-care this year. Like that's my goal. I want to put it on everybody. Practice self-care. That's like the main thing to help maintain your mental health. Self-care. You got to have time for yourself, create time for yourself. I know our schedules are busy. We all are busy, but we have to create that time for ourselves.
It's like not even it's not optional.
It's not an option. It's not.
It's not.
Pencil yourself into your calendar or pin yourself. Use a pen. Like you definitely need to create right. You got to create that time some kind of way, even if it's getting up earlier or, if it's once a week or however often you can do it, it's better, but
make time for yourself.
Make time for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm just going to add this because I was talking to a friend, this was many years ago, and she was like, I do some self-care stuff. Like I'll go get a manicure and a pedicure. She goes, but I'm usually working while I'm doing it. I said, no. No, you can't have your laptop, while you're doing a pedicure. I mean, if that's what you're doing, that's fine. But that doesn't count as self-care. Self-care is things that is something that pours back into you, that refills your cup. If you're working while they're working on your feet, that doesn't count. So,
right.
So I have to ask you this one last question then, since you brought up self-care. What is your favorite self-care?
I love massages.
Yeah.
I love quiet time. If I could just sit down or either just quiet. Like I feel like I think so much, I do so much, I'm moving so much, just quiet, just chilling. Like that's my favorite time. But I do like
because we're always, because the reason why that's so huge to just be quiet is because we're always connected to a device. There's something always ringing or dinging or vibrating, or someone asking us questions, whether we're at work or even at home with kids, whatever the case may be. So quiet time is precious and sacred. I love my quiet time.
I was gonna say I come up with my best ideas in my quiet time. You just chilling and relaxing, and you come up with your best ideas.
Best ideas in the quiet. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, because sometimes we think we got to do all the things. Sometimes just sit down, be still, and be quiet.
Right.
That is self-care.
Right.
So I love that. Well, with that, you guys, thank you again, Tawana, so much.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed my time here.
You're very welcome. And those that are listening and watching, thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next week for another episode of The Charyse Williams Show. Bye for now.